Man, I need my muscle about. Man, we moving top shits like Silverleaf and shit. Man, we full of that AI over here, man.
We're gonna finally put the finishing touches on this Suge Knight shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to be said and a lot to be heard by the public. You know, y'all, the viewers. Oh, and I almost forgot. My name is John Mack, AKA Mindbender, and this is Metro 360 News. Voila!
Pimp! You don't know the right there, cool as a motherfucker. Smooth.
Nigga. Sound like a bunch of goddamn gibberish. But I had to play that part because it just reminded me of some infinite nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Nigga.
The whole world know I hate rats, I hate snitches. I ain't into telling. So people always want to know, is Pac dead, is Pac alive? I'm the wrong motherfucker to ask. But at the same time, bitch ass Puffy can give him a motherfucking star, and every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac.
Yep.
Or had him shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you notice, it was a rat on television saying he didn't want to get the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right?
Right.
If you think about it, right?
Right.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want to kill Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't
Not
gonna get
just
arrested.
to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not
I ain't
dead.
as smart as you should be.
Tupac not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on the island somewhere.
right
You
now.
know what I mean?
I just thought you said you was the wrong one to ask. And now you want to assert that the nigga's alive in Cuba, smoking a cigar. Suge, you's a real piece of work, nigga. Do you know that if the feds find Tupac, what kind of trouble he's in? I thought you just said, nigga, you ain't into snitching and telling and bitching and all this. And nigga, you just gave up the whole goddamn ghost, nigga. If Pac is alive in Cuba, smoking on a Cuban, like you suggested, that nigga's under all kind of tax evasion, insurance fraud, and every goddamn thing else. You know, if Fanny took out a life insurance policy on Pac after he passed away, why wouldn't she? I mean, if he was dead, allegedly, right? That's the reason why that judge asked Malcolm Greenrich, aka Idi Amin, when's the last time you seen Tupac Shakur? He said, when he was laying on the ground bleeding and shit. Get the fuck out of here. You seen him after that, nigga, if he was laid up in the hospital, you goddamn liar. And Suge, nigga, you's a piece of...
But I tell you this, if you try to find a person who cremated Putin.
So peep this out. As you was getting ready to formulate your verbs and say Tupac, you slipped and said poop. It's talking about Poochie. I just want to know.
Who cremated Putin? Who cremated Tupac? After he supposed cremated Tupac, he retired and vanished into the sun, into the sunset, into the darkness. After, if you really look at it, could Pac done all those songs? Sort of mathematically impossible.
I'm not sure how many songs Tupac Shakur recorded while he was alive, but there's an example of over 600 songs done in 1 year on one site.
So answer your own question. Is he here or is he there? But at the same time, that was my little brother. His code name was Machiavelli, like mine is Simon. And if you know the story of Machiavelli, he faked his own death. But at the same time, they wanted to put Pac back in prison. And Pac would fake his own death and disappear before he go back to prison. So shit, you answer that. Do you still hear him? Do you still see him? I'm quite sure you do. But once again, I ain't into telling it, so you never know.
He's the epitome of a troll, man. How you gonna say you not ratting, right? knowing that if they do find Tupac alive, right, he's going to prison. First of all, he did some incredible, miraculous shit we never seen a motherfucker bail out of prison. So that's the first thing. How much federal tax money you think he owes after all this time missing? Because most of the time when people go missing like that, it's usually to claim life insurance, you know what I'm saying, under some fraudulent measures and shit. You think Afeni Shakur was given life insurance after Tupac was killed? I'm absolutely sure she was. So you got to think about how many trumped up charges are going to be on a dude been hiding in Cuba for the last 27 years.
So what you want to know?
I was just flowing with you. I was just flowing with you. So let's talk about Pac's work ethic. What would you say about his work ethic? How did he work? You know, the whole thing of him having all those, you know, laying down as many songs, you know, something like that.
One of the reasons why I always had Pac back and still do, because he always had my back. When it was time to do All Eyes on Me, I was on house arrest. So we lived at the studio. And at that time, you know, Dre wasn't doing nothing to work. And Pac was like, Simon, look, you believe in me, I believe in you. Let's do it, we don't need nobody. So, round the clock, we worked. Anything we did, if we went to Maui, we came back with a song. We went to a club, we came back with a song. If we was tossing up some bitches, we came back with a song. No matter what it was, how it was, it still was a song. And so his work ethic was to the point where he was aggressive with it. He wasn't doing it just to try to please the next person. He was doing stuff that we felt that it was about us. So his work ethic was unheard of. We was at the point where we lived, eat, sleep, did everything you could think of inside that studio. But at the same time, Pac was with the get out. You know, a lot of rappers talk about it. Pac was about it. Regardless if it was about fighting, shooting, or whatever. He was with it. He wasn't gonna run on you. Pac had a big heart. I mean, he took people and said it made him a group of outlaws. And he felt that they wasn't talented enough to rap. He felt they wasn't tough enough to ride, but he still accepted them. Except for Gaddafi, maybe a few, but nobody really wrote. Nobody had a talent. But Pac would take a person who didn't have no talent and make them seem like they had talent. He would take a bullshit track and make it a real track. That's the difference. He didn't complain, he didn't whine, he didn't cry. But at the same time, you can't take somebody what they are. You can't change a lion into a pussycat. You can't turn around and take a person who's a lion and then want to rewrite his life. It's impossible. So to sell bullshit to the world is wrong. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this. Because it's wrong to portray him to be a way that he wasn't. It's wrong to portray him to be somebody that he didn't believe he was. He didn't believe who he was, and that was Machiavelli, Tupac, only. I think that 95% of the artists, or maybe 98, is influenced by Pac. Tupac was on a level where the death row Tupac, that is. You know what I mean? It's a big difference between Interscope Tupac and the death row Tupacs. The Interscope Tupacs, you might get a Tupac album and he might have 1 or 2 songs on there that was Tupac's, and you loved it. The rest of it was some shit that they wanted to do that you didn't like. The death row Tupac was like giving every person in the ghetto, every person behind bars, every woman, every entrepreneur, every dope fiend, every rich person a way out. Pac was an influence on everybody in the industry on the simple fact that he gave people a way out. He gave people a break. If you was a lawyer that you was uptight, you could throw on that Tupac CD, that All Eyes on Me, or that Machiavelli, and you be like, my day is all right. If you was an athlete, you can play Tupac before the game, and you can crack a motherfucker on the field. You can make that touchdown. You can hit that home run. You can get 35, 45 points and dunk on that highlight film. If you was a boxer, you come out there on a Tupac song, you know you finna knock somebody out. Somebody finna get knocked the fuck out. Bottom line, no matter who it is, if you was a stripper, you was gonna make money that night if you danced to a Tupac song, because you was gonna shake your ass and titties better than Magic City. Because Tupac influenced you. Death Row influenced you. Tupac and Death Row was the same, ain't no different. He believed in like nobody believed in it. He wore his chain with the man in the chair religiously. I don't care what time it was. You catch Pac, he had this motherfucker on. He had it on like bam, right there, no matter what it was. You know, it wasn't about like, I got this chain, but you know, Pac banged Death Row like he banged, like niggas banged their hood. Regardless if it was up to no good or good, he banged it. All day, every day, and every night. It was like a religious. He believed in it. I believed in him. So definitely, 98% of the people gotta be influenced by Tupac, who's grabbing the microphone.
What artists in specific do you think are influenced today? What rappers, what R&B artists in particular do you think is influenced by Tupac?
On the R&B side, R. Kelly wanna be the R&B thug, that's Tupac.
Well, no, I'm alone in my room. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, man, so, I don't like that R. Kelly and Tupac comparison, you know what I'm talking about? Where you try to call R. Kelly the R&B thug? What thug shit have R. Kelly did? Or is it because he called himself the R&B thug? I guess he was a thug for all that molestation that he was doing, but I don't really consider that a thug. He was more like an R&B predator.
On the rap side, you got anybody from DMX to Ja Rule to 50 to, I can go, we be all night, all day trying to say everybody who want to walk in the shoes of Tupac. I think that they patterned themselves after Tupac. Hands down they did. They know they did. Without a doubt.
Talk about some of Pac's collaboration with other Death Row artists.
You know, one of the things that I give credit to all the artists ever on Death Row. You had artists on Death Row with household names and stars before they even had a record out. From Nate Dogg to Danny Boy to the Dogg Pound, their record out. Snoop had his record out. Everybody had their record out. But at the same time, Pac came in with a breath of fresh air. He made everybody pick their game up. One thing they knew was one thing. If they gonna be on a song with Tupac, they might lay that first verse, that second verse, but the next day they'll be like, Simon, I wanna change my verse. After they hear it, they hear Pac verse, they gotta go and redo their shit. Cause Pac gonna come with that heat. So I think that was the best thing for a label. It was competition. People felt it was jealousy, but at the same time, it was like competition. Death Row Work was a competition place. If it was a hot track, and if it was for another artist, and they was lagging on it, Pac would be like, let me get that track. He bullshitting. Let me get a verse. Watch. Simon, believe in me. He'd go in there and rip that track up. And that make that artist, if he still want to be on that track, that make that artist have to turn around and pick his game up. So he was influencing the label. But the label was influencing him too, though. It's not one like it. I mean, you can take a Tupac song and play it on the radio, they still gonna dance to it. You can take a Tupac song and play in the club, and they still gonna dance to it. There's a lot of artists who was well artists and successful artists back in the day, but their time came, their time is left, their time is gone. You play in the club, those kids like, we ain't trying to hear that old shit, play that new shit. But it's a lot of guys I see that doing their thing. In this business, it's not about putting nobody down. I mean, I look at it like Jadakiss pushing line.
Every blue moon, Suge had the ability to say some incredible shit, though. What the fuck you know about Jada, nigga? Every blue moon, nigga, that nigga will surprise you with a jewel.
T.I.'s newcomer pushing line.
Pushing what line, Suge? The 1-800 Crime Stoppers line?
You know, if you really look at it, Rule did his thing.
He was all right. He was the predecessor to Drake. But until he came up with that weak-ass shit called Blood Ma, he was almost forgotten.
50 came aggressive.
50 came aggressive. Hold the fuck up. I'ma say what Suge didn't say. You mean that shit that Dr. Dre was not doing, the work you claim he was not doing for Tupac, he did for 50? More than 50 came aggressive, nigga. 50 went 10 platinum on that first album.
I go on and on and on. It's like, to me personally, even Nelly.
This is how you know Suge was desperate for new talent at the time. Nigga said even Nelly. Even Nelly. Now, I'm not saying that Nelly didn't have some knocking beats and, that Pimp Juice shit was all right. But he was another predecessor to Drake.
People say certain things, but to perform is to push it. Only artists I feel that is creative and can be their own man in this business right now in this game is P.D. Pablo.
Bullshit.
P.D. Pablo is like, I think it's real disrespectful to try to compare anybody to Tupac. Anybody try to be Pac is a bitch.
On earth, you out of bounds and wasn't no criminal carrying records for digital underground. You can't rhyme, better carry a tech. Chick, you a marionette, and I can see your strings. You can't offend me, do me many trendy. Use a little midget puppet nigga popping like Little Penny.
Be yourself. You can say he influenced you. You can say he's good at what he did and you want to do what he done. But P.D. Pablo comes to the game to the point where he coming in being P.D. Pablo. He don't try to be Tupac. He do what he do and what he do best. You got a lot of people who take bits or pieces of Pac verses and act like they wrote those verses. And in all reality, Pac is spitting their face.
I always have a problem when I talk about Tupac. People think I'm hating on Tupac. People think I'm mad because Tupac didn't put me in the song. For one, I'm not a groupie. For number two, I don't know half of the songs or none of these cats that put their music out there like that because I'm not a fan like that. And I never hung with those cats to like, I'm kicking it with Tupac, or I'm kicking it with Dash and Corrupt. I didn't get down like that. Snoop was the closest one that I ever got to, and that's only because I did the court thing, the security at the court.
Yeah, when he had the murder trial.
Yeah.
Well, you said at one point Tupac's attitude started to change. He started to spit on people. He started bumping into people on purpose. He actually would spit on people?
Yeah. He Tupac, when he could be cool, and then, the way he was, and then, just changing and coming into this like monster, this beast mode. No, come on.
Who would he spit on?
just people in general. People that's trying to, Tupac, and whoop, whoop, just standing there. Going to the mall. You know what I'm saying? Just spitting on people. Why would you spit on a person in general for like
TUPAC, the wonderful side and the not so wonderful. Suge Knight's influence brought out the worst. TUPAC now started to wage a war against Biggie. That's Mo Premium White trying to control TUPAC. TUPAC was losing control.
That's my new style. Hey, have a good summer. Have a good summer, biatch.
TUPAC became obsessed with...
Me and Reggie, me and everybody, we have always said, why the fuck do this dude spit on people? Reggie tried to make it seem like he never heard of it, never saw it. He never seen Tupac being arrogant and all of this. And I say this, every time I speak on Tupac, I get 900 people hitting me, leave the fuck Tupac, leave Tupac alone. Everybody that worked for Death Row, everybody that was around Tupac know exactly how the fuck he did shit when he was on the Tupac thing. So I don't get where I'm wrong, but I'm wrong for saying anything about Tupac. Reggie telling people like I'm reading a newsletter, like I'm reading a whatever the fuck he's saying. I'm getting this from the side of my neck. I've been saying this for 20 motherfucking years. Everybody know where it's coming from. So I don't know, but it's coming from me saying it, which we done said back 600 times. If go back and listen to the clips, go back and listen to the Greg Kading, go back, I'm talking about all the way when Tupac passed. I've been saying it all the time.
So you personally saw Tupac spit on somebody?
Being with him? No.
Yeah. No.
No, but being around, sitting in a group like this and everybody talking about how wild and loose he is, yes.
So you heard someone say, hey, Pac, you spit on that
More
fan.
than one person saying that. Been around more than one person, being around him, and he walking through the crowd, pushing people in the face. Just a little, everything that the dude used to do. But it's Tupac, so I shouldn't say nothing about Tupac. They was in the mall somewhere, and some cats was talking shit and throwing something at him. And Tupac spit on the cats, start spitting at the dudes. Mm-hmm. They had multiple incidents like that. They, Las Vegas, when we was in Vegas gambling at the MGM, some motherfucker was talking shit and something, Tupac spit on him. Maybe that was his just reaction of getting at people like that.
Okay, but did you actually see that part or no?
I was there, but we were gambling.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So
yeah.
When he had the situation there, I don't want to say their name, Rage and all of them was there. Everybody was there at the same table gambling. He walked over here. Whatever happened over there, everybody had to go there because he spit on the motherfucker and they was mad.
Hands down. I mean, it's like, personally, it ain't nothing, me personally, I don't have nothing against Nas personally, but don't turn around and say you and Pac loved each other. When Pac was on your bumper, to the point he was with the violence, he was the business. For is, you take two executives in the business. You take me, you take Puffy. Biggie was hot as a motherfucker. I like Biggie on the microphone. Can't take that from Biggie. I think if sooner or later Biggie would have been on death row, because we was pushing the line that was about him.
Check it. Call Lil C's, tell that motherfucker bring me some motherfucking weed to this house. Fuck that. Tell Uncle Porter to go pick up 10,000 from Dez, go take up like 20 G's from Gino. Tell that motherfucker to get this nigga next door. I'm out of here. That nigga be snoring all night. I can't sleep. And call that big butt nurse with the long hair to come suck my dick. The doctor said I need about 3 weeks of recovery, but the nurses is loving me, saying the best part of the day is my half. feeding me breakfast and giving me a sponge bath. Niggas say I died dead in the streets. Nigga, I'm getting high, getting head on the beach. Chillin', sitting on about $500,000. With all my niggas, all my guns, all my women. Next 2 years, I should see about $1 billion. All for the love of drug dealing. Got no love for the other side, fuck them tricks. Any repercussions, Junior Mafia spit clips all the time. Big Papa kick the war rhymes, raw flows, and that's how it goes. On the road to riches and diamond rings. The real niggas do real things. Hanging with the bitches is the song I sing. Real niggas do real things. On the road to riches and diamond rings. Real niggas do real things. Hanging with the bitches is the song I sing. Real niggas do real things. Check it out. Notorious B.I.G. representing D.K. to the fullest. Junior Mafia for life. Give the shout outs to DJ Jam, Craig Fraser, Homicide, the whole Radio Check crew. Death Row, Death Row, Death Row, Death Row, Death Row.
But like, if you look at it, when Pac moved on, I mourned, that's my little brother. And it was about trying to put Pac in the right perspective and keep pushing this what he believed in. When Biggie passed, it was about Puffy getting the opportunity to become a rapper. Because if Biggie wouldn't have left, Puffy wouldn't have been a rapper. So Puffy benefited more by Biggie not being here than Biggie being here. I lost when Pac went in the game because that made me have bitterness towards the game. Because that was a real motherfucker who just ain't in the game today. But maybe next year sometime you might hear him again.
Hey, Suge.
Hey. He done it. Hey, I learned how to forgive, though. I mean, it's like, for like Snoop, him and Pac had their differences. They had their get out, they had their squabbles, you know what I mean? I went to the penitentiary. When I went to the pen, the whole West Coast went to the penitentiary. But I felt like I was on Snoop bumper on the simple fact that I felt he should have represented Pac more. He should have been the one like, okay, Pac ain't putting this mic in his hand, so I'm gonna put this mic in my hand. But at the same time, they was both two America's Most Wanted. So you can't look at Snoop and dislike him because any way you look at it, any way he go, he's still a death row artist. Any concert he go to, if he gonna rock the crowd, he gonna do gin and juice. He gonna do some death row shit. So for me to say I dislike him is like saying I dislike some of my kids because I made him who he was. At the same time, we all helped each other win the way we won. You know, on a day like this, the sun going down, you'll catch me and Pac with the rags pulled back, hitting about 5 different clubs, fighting about 3 of them, partying about 2 of them, hitting the after-hour spot, and having a spot at our house for the next spot. But then because the sun gone down, that don't mean we're gonna quit. Because we'll be next, in the next location, finishing this shit. So therefore, as we say, we'll be back. As Pac always told you motherfuckers, he'll be back. So keep tuned, stay in.
So have you heard from SUGE?
Yes.
How's he hold up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with SUGE.
Oh, you were with him. You okay. Do you have any idea who shot SUGE?
I'm pretty sure SUGE knows who shot SUGE.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother me.
So,
shout outs to the nobodies of the
so
world.
you're predicting this is going to be a nobody situation?
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
Did SUGE do anything to provoke this, or?
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
That's true.
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, you know, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance, and a situation where the person already has the gun out and you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at, we know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Cat, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang related, that these were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac?
If it was gang related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works, is it?